What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day. All right, there are 6 strings on a guitar and 6 strings in life. Sometimes you pluck one at a time, and sometimes you play them all in harmony. Today on Kindness Rising, we're stringing together fandoms, failures, and a few friends who are still trying to get their act tuned. Welcome to Kindness Rising.
This is Kindness Rising.
It doesn't sound like my voice, but it's fun anyway. No one plays life perfectly, but what if life isn't about one note at all? What if it's about learning to play all 6 strings? That's what we're exploring today through fandoms that the Gen X grew up with, and through Carol and Stan, who are slowly realizing you can't headline a talent show with a broken guitar.
Four strings is plenty, Cal. Bass players do it all the time. Stan, you're not Flea. You're barely even functional.
All right. Every good song starts with a root note. We're going to talk about the 6 strings now. It starts with a root note. For Gen X, that root was kindness, taught to us by some of our favorite characters from the Muppets and Sesame Street. They modeled care, community, and cooperation. It was never about being perfect. It was about showing up for each other.
See, kindness is all I need. I'm like Kermit with a banjo.
More like Animal with a kazoo.
That silly hat of Stan's, let me tell you. The Muppets taught us that kindness is messy, it's loud, and it's sometimes off key, but it always holds the group together. Kindness is the root note of life's song. And kindness is the root note of my song, too. I know it's of yours out there in the community, and I appreciate you. Good morning, Roseanne Roof. Hyped for gaming. Yay. All right. Oh, Carol Birdie is here. Holy moly. Hi, Aunt Carol. How are you? That's my Aunt Carol, Carol Birdie out there in the vertical stream. If you're out there with her, say hello. I had to get a 12 string. You get it now, right? Yeah, there's 12 strings probably, Aunt Carol. We're working on it for sure. Hello, everyone over there in the horizontal. We've got people rocking and rolling. Some of our OG friends. Lady Drew Bozier, always here with us, and Buzzy B Driven. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Let's get after it. And of course, Lady Drew, we know you always included all domestic and wild lives, the earth and the universe. You definitely include all of us and them in kindness. Adam Holroyd's here as well. We appreciate you. And of course, Mike Sullivan, our West Coast friend. The crew is in the house on a Fandom Friday here on Kindness Rising, where we're going over the 6 strings that tie us together, that help us to lead a good life. We talked about our kindness, our root note with Sesame Streets. Now we want to get to balance. Balance is rhythm. It's our 2nd string, And for this one, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite shows as a kid. It's become a big deal with the growth of the superhero world over in not in Marvel, but in DC Comics. I'm talking about Batman. And I'm talking about the Batman that I grew up with. I'm talking about Adam West as Batman. It was a great show back in the day. Loved that. Loved those characters. The villains played by some of the most famous actors of that era, for sure. Cesar Romero and Burgess Meredith. Awesome actors. Loved the mix of campy and serious stuff. It was awesome. I still watch it once in a while. I got to admit, if you have the Roku channel, here's a hint. If you have the Roku channel, that Batman series from 1966 ran for 4 or 5 years. They did the movies, the whole thing. That's available for free on Roku, and I watch it once in a while. I'm like, I just need a Batman, and that's because he has balance. The 1966 balance, like I said, was campy and serious all at once. He was a superhero, but he was walking that thin line of a parody and real stakes happening in those mysteries, in those crimes that he solved. It taught us that balance is rhythm, and too much in one direction and you can get off beat.
Holy rhythm section, Cal, man.
Dude, the only utility belt you own is filled with burritos.
Balance doesn't mean perfection. It means learning to keep the camp and the serious in the same groove. Without rhythm, your songs will fall apart. And that's our second string, balance. So we've talked about kindness. We've talked about balance. Let's check back in. W. Sarpa, hey, I'm only viewer. Can I have a shout out? You've got a shout out. I'm watching. You're not the only viewer. I see several others. And yeah, well, stick around for a bit, Mr. Sarpa, or W. Sarpa. Don't mean to assume you're a mister, but that is true. Soccer Sniper, what's up? Welcome into the show. We appreciate you. You're a soccer sniper, huh? How you score a lot of goals. I'd be interested in what your story is out there, Sniper. Global, welcome back. Kapow, Zong. Oh my gosh, those were the best. Actually, I love it. Love it. I'm actually gonna go watch some Batman now. Julie Newmar, that's right. Adam Holroyd, Julie Newmar. That was probably some people's first pinups. That suit was pretty slick. Halle Berry's was. Yeah, you got your shout out, Soccer Sniper. Here it is, buddy. Welcome into Kindness Rising, Soccer Sniper. We are the greatest community designed around morning kindness, and I appreciate you for showing up. So stick around, come hang out with us, and learn about the 6 strings of life that make your life better. Let's move on to string number 3. That's curiosity. That is the solo string, right? I love jam band music. I don't want to say we all, because I don't, whatever. But I think we can all appreciate when a solo artist is playing with the band is playing behind, and they come over and they could put together a solo, whether that's a solo and it's the flute standing up in the orchestra, or it's Jerry Garcia leading with his guitar. The solo is key to the music, and that is curiosity for us, and that leads us to our next fandom. It's one that I got into it for a little while, and I got out of it, then I got into it, then I got into it. It's actually one of the longest running sci-fi series. I think they still make episodes about this bunch of intrepid travelers through space. Connor Willems, welcome into Kindness Rising. We appreciate you for showing up. So we're talking about curiosity and a sci-fi series from our Gen X youth, and that is Star Trek. I don't remember the symbol. Do you guys? It's something like, I don't know. You guys probably know. Maybe take a picture of it and drop it in the comments or something. I don't know. But anyway, Star Trek is the solo, and Curiosity is the solo string, the one that makes us explore, experiment, and boldly go beyond where we are today. Star Trek gave Gen X the map for that. Curiosity, reminding us that the unknown isn't scary. It's a song waiting to be written, as long as you have the courage to be a little curious, to ask questions, to go where you've never been before. That's what we do every day on Kindness Rising, and I love it. Come on, buttons. That's the one I'm looking for.
I'm boldly going off key.
Congratulations, you've discovered the planet Wrong Note.
No, let me tell you, some of the stuff that I come up with, I watch it the next day and I'm like, what? You're okay. I hope you guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. Cal and Stan are going to be sticking with us. As a matter of fact, we are going to be taking it even to the next level with Cal and Stan. So I think it's time that they started interacting with you and with me, get out of their own little world. So let's see where that takes us, because we are curious about where we're going. All right, string 4. We keep going here on a Fandom Friday. String 4. That's the pulse, right? I play the bass. I got to pulse it, right? You got to pulse it. That's where I get that from, and that's the action. That is the pulse string. It's the move that makes the song move forward. For Gen X, the pulse came every Saturday morning. We knew what we were going to wake up to. Those heroes were charging into battle, racing into traps, or chasing villains that somehow always got away, but they kept chasing them. The lesson wasn't about winning perfectly. It was about staying in motion. Action keeps the adventure alive week after week.
See, Cal? Action heroes never stop moving.
You're not a hero, Stan. You're just dizzy.
All right. Action is about momentum. You don't need flawless moves. You just need to keep playing. Without pulse, even the best song will flatline. So we don't want our song to die. So we keep moving with action and with intention in our moves every day in order to get up, get after it, accomplish our big goals. It starts with the process. It's great to have outcomes in mind. It's great to have a plan in mind, but you got to move step by step. You will get there. And if you don't, you'll at least get somewhere. It won't be where you are. Challenge the status quo a little bit. Get in action, move and groove, and life will be better for you. All right, let's check back in with our comments and our friends. Michael Global, I think it's nice to see you here. Live long and prosper. Yes, live long and prosper, Star Trek. Like I said, I was not a huge Star Trek fan, but I absolutely get it. I get why people are into it. I know from watching it, from studying it a little bit, that sometimes the stories were a little bit deeper than people think, right? There was some social commentary in there. There was certainly some underlying political themes. It was a very interesting thing, and it was entertaining. And who didn't love a little Shatner and Nimoy? I mean, those guys are absolutely legends, right? Icons. So that is really, really cool. All right. We're through 4 strings already. We're flying through our strings. We're playing each one as we go along. I wonder what would happen if we played a few together, or maybe all of them together. All right. String 5, that's self-awareness. Self-awareness is our chord change. It's the moment you realize who you are and why it matters. That moment, that moment when the chord changes, that's what self-awareness will do for you. It's time to change the chord a little bit. And we're connecting this to a fandom, another sci-fi fandom. For some reason, I'm into sci-fi these days, talking about it. I think there's a lot of connections. So it's actually not that sci-fi because it's sci-com. It is fiction too, but I'm talking about a comedy that was based on science. It gave us one of the most iconic characters of our age, Gen X, played by one of the most iconic comedic actors who really had his own set of issues, as we know, in terms of depression and substance use. Certainly a huge part of this guy's life. He passed away a few years ago after giving us so many years of joy. It's Robin Williams, and I'm talking about Nanu Nanu. Mork from Ork. Do you guys remember Mork? Mork and Mindy? Mork gave us that holding up a mirror to humanity with humor, right? He would have this little earthly action that was a standard interaction, and he'd learn a little lesson from it. He'd go back to, I forgot the name of it was Ork, but I forgot the name of the guy that he talked to at the end of every show. But anyway, Mork from Ork, his Nanu Nanu wasn't just a catchphrase. It was a reminder that self-awareness makes even our oddities lovable.
Nanu Nanu. Stan, you don't need an alien suit to look out of place. That's just you.
Cal always has a little snappy shot for poor Stan. He's just trying his best. Little side production. You have no idea how hard it was to make that. Believe it or not, those two words, Nanu Nanu, of all things, trying to produce that. We lean into AI tools and we lean into our creative side using them, and sometimes they give us little challenges and bloopers, and it's a lot of fun to do it, though. It's a lot of fun, and when you get that creation that you had a vision for at the end and it looks something like what you intended it to be, it's pretty much a rush. I actually enjoy it a lot, and I'm glad I do it, and I can do it for you, but we'll talk about that later. Self-awareness lets you laugh at your own off notes and still stay in the song. Without it, you're just noise, but with it, you're harmony. That's self-awareness. That is our 5th of 6 strings that we are playing together. That Jewish guy, you oppress black people, you're a racist. Actually, no, Jewish guy, I appreciate your perspective, but that is the exact opposite of true. Thank you for coming in and sharing your uninformed views about what we talk about here on Kindness Rising. Stick around so that you can figure out what we are really about and maybe learn a thing or two about us. All right. Roseanne Roof saying, sending us down memory lane. Yes, we are going down memory lane. I like to lean into a little Gen X nostalgia here on Kindness Rising. I loved all the cultural things that I grew up with, obviously. It's what built us, those messages, those things that we see, whatever generation you were in. I guarantee you can name the shows, the stars, the cultural things that were going on in your world in the way that they impacted you, or at least the way you enjoyed them. And that's why I do it. Nostalgia is a little bit of a drug in terms of remembering those happy times. And that's what I'm choosing to do on this Fandom Friday. All right. Mark was supposed to report on all humans, but Mork was supposed to report on all humans, but reported on his girlfriend, Mindy. Yeah, he spent a little too much time there with Pam Dauber, didn't he? Although, yeah, another one of those, you grow up with. And I will tell you that, I don't know if I'm just realizing this now, but I'm thinking about, they were in Boulder, Colorado, and I always thought that was a really cool ski town, mountain town kind of vibe. Even back then, that was what I was into. I connected with it, and I just kind of realized that as we're talking about it. Boulder, Colorado, I'm working Mindy. All right, we're really moving along here. We are moving on to our 6th and final string. We've talked about kindness. We've talked about action. We've talked about curiosity. We've talked about balance. We talked about self-awareness. And now we're going to hit the last one, which is why we're here. Hi, Soccer Sniper. I see you in there. All right. Yeah. So our last string and what it's all about in the end, because it's really all we can do every day that we get up and get out there, is growth. That's our final note, that last sustaining final note of every song that you hear. That pitch stays in your head, or whatever you think. Everyone needs a final note, the one that resolves it all. It brings you back to the root. And for Gen X, Rocky, that's what we're talking about. He was that note. He failed, he trained, he grew, and he came back stronger. Growth isn't about skipping failure. It's about turning failure into the next round of music. Whoops. Hold on.
See, Cal? All 6 strings in harmony.
Yeah. For the first time, you don't sound completely terrible.
For Cal's perspective, not completely terrible is a compliment. That's probably about as far as Cal goes in terms of his compliments. He's a little sarcastic. He's a little snippy with Stan, who's just trying to figure it out. But those are our 6 notes, our 6 strings, excuse me. We have our kindness, our root note. Balance, which is our rhythm. Curiosity, that's our solo. Action, that's the pulse. Self-awareness is the chord change. And finally, growth. Those are our 6 strings to life. And we will continue to talk about those 6 strings. You can continue to learn more and see more about the 6 strings on my channel. So if you're out there and you haven't yet, please subscribe, and we will continue to get at it with the 6 strings and with some Gen X nostalgia and with some jam band stuff, because that's what I like. And I know that there are people out there that like that too. And if not, maybe they can learn a thing or two about it. So I appreciate everyone who comes out. Life is a lot like music. One note can make a sound, but it takes strings working together to make a song. That's why the 6 strings model makes sense. It reminds us that we're not defined by one trait, one win, or one failure. We're fuller, richer, more in tune when we practice different parts of ourselves and let them all play together. When we do, we don't just survive the off notes, we create harmony out of them. That's the benefit. More resilience, more connection, and more confidence to keep playing, even when life feels out of tune. Thank you for joining and listening to me speak about the 6 strings. I hope it is beneficial to all of you that are out there. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Lady Drew, Mike, everybody. I hope you're having a great Friday and you're getting ready for another loop into the weekend, having a good time and enjoying everything that you're doing. So I always talk about branding. I'm going to do it real quick today. Time is ticking by, and that's okay. Oh, I wanted to do this. I knew there was something. I created a new song. I'm so excited. So here's a new one. Sticking around with our usual groove a little bit that we're building here, our sound. I'd love to hear your opinion of this one. We are calling it Sunrise Mover. Welcome to Kindness Rising. This is a little bit more upbeat. We're getting at it about branding, because your brand isn't built on being flawless. It's built on being human. And that's why EAT matters. We talk about EAT here. It's experience, it's expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment. Those are our 5-ingredient recipe to personal branding. You are in possession of them all. You don't have to be different or whatever. Everyone's got experience they can share. Everyone's got some form of expertise, something that we can all learn from them. Your authenticity is within you. You can build trust by showing up every day, by doing what you need to do and being responsive to people and being available, being present. That's part of trust. And lastly, entertainment. I know there's a lot of entertainment to be had out there. If you are ready to show your personal brand, I can help you. We can help you in Mornings in the Lab Network and Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. You can find me here on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Those are my primaries. I'm also over there on TikTok and Insta a little bit. Not as much as some others, but we are here to build a business that helps people show their best selves through our EAT program. Experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment. And if you're not ready to hit record yet, play the chords of your brand out loud. Hiding off camera doesn't just keep you safe, it keeps your story silent. And if you're not telling it, someone else is filling that silence. So tell your story. If you're not ready to hit record yet, as I started this, we can help you. We can help you hit record. We can help you build a brand using AI tools. We've got our down and dirty ad packs. We can help with all kinds of stuff related to personal branding. Try us out. Give me a call. Let me know. We can also just have a conversation. And I'm interested in your thoughts. Cool. All right. So here's our takeaways. They're all connected back to the 6 strings, of course. So guess how many takeaways we have? We have not 5, 6. 6 strings. First one is play that root note. Start with kindness. We always do, right? How is this kind? What am I doing today that's kind? Is what I'm doing helpful? Keep the rhythm. That's balance. Balance the camp and the serious. Have some fun, but also get up and get after it. That's balance. Try the solo. That's curiosity. Try the solo. That's curiosity. Curiosity is our solo, right? It gives us a chance to explore unknown territories. Follow the pulse. That's action that keeps us moving forward. Listen for the chord change. Self-awareness sharpens your perspective. And lastly, end on a final note, because growth comes from failure. There it is. That is what our takeaways are for today. And we are getting ready. It's the top of the hour. Some of you probably have already moved on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, and they are talking about the difference between a buddy and an accountability partner. Tactical empathy that doesn't just make music, it makes progress. And before I send you off on our merry way, I have one more little ditty. Maybe.
So we're ready for the encore?
No, Stan, we're ready for earplugs.
The 6 strings of life remind us that we're not meant to play alone. Sometimes it's one string, sometimes it's harmony, but always it's music. Just ask Cal and Stan. Seems like they finally learned that you can't rock the neighborhood with half a guitar. I hope you had an awesome Fandom Friday. I know I did. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on Kindness Rising. I'm Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. And as I always say, stay uncommon and stay kind.